Sisterly Love, brought to you by HP Editions Australia. This novel's written and narrated by Diana Hutton. This is a sample from Chapter 1, Pea Soupers and Brass Bands. Sisters, that blood relationship, is a complex mesh which intertwines in painful proximity sentiments of the greatest contrast. It is both a haven and a prison, a relief and a frustration. It is part of the condition into which we are born without our having asked for it to be so. It is part of the burden we carry with us to the grave. It is part of the joy we carry with us to the grave. It is a love we bear within us despite ourselves. It is an unchosen love. I was born in London, in a swirling pea souper of the sort which made me wish I'd never been born. I was propelled out into the light on a mid-January morning, back towards the beginning of the 20th century. Yet there was no light. Or was light that grimy haze, whose turbid yellow swirls pressed ghost-like against the pane of my mother's bedroom window? For I was born in her bed, on her bed, in a whoosh of warm pink fluid, flung forth onto a sea of rough-starched white sheets, and in front of the inquisitive gaze of the detested Aunt Emily. The detested Aunt Emily. It was like that then, in those days, when most cousins and sisters and aunts knew about delivering babies. Admittedly, many of us were lost or went astray, miscarried, during the complicated pregnancies of overworked mothers, or were yanked harshly out into the world with a pair of forceps and half maimed for life. Nevertheless, it was a time when we were all less squeamish, not so put off by a bit of blood and guts, not so hygienic as we are today, towards the close of the century, the 20th century, that is. Perhaps I ought to be thankful to have been born into the murky light of a pea souper, the dubious glimmer of those hazes over the world, over London, which was our world, and indeed the whole world at the time for us. Perhaps the glare of a bright summer sun would have been too great a contrast with the dim glow of my progenitor's womb. I might have been shocked for evermore were I to have squinted my way out into the brash light of a summer's day. As it was, being born into a pea souper meant that I was forced to struggle to see anything at all, struggle with my vision for long hours, peering into the mysterious yellow substance on the opposite side of the bedroom window, wondering, if indeed a baby wonders. That struggle has made me a fighter ever since. Pea soupers are virtually unheard of nowadays, now that the air has been supposedly cleansed to look like natural cloud, to make us believe we're breathing in fresh air. Though the way they talk about pollution in the present times, you'd think it was worse than those pea soupers. Youngsters today can't imagine what they were like. I can remember trotting off to school on freezing cold mornings, my woolly balaclava clinging to my ears, my fingers tingling inside a pair of mittens, my unbecoming grey socks rucked around my ankles, limping because I had a large hole. Potatoes, our mother called them, or rather spuds, cutting into the skin around my big toe, and a laborious piece of darning under my heel, which rubbed me to red raw discomfort. There wasn't the cash for more than 2 pairs of winter socks each, and mother was an awful darner. End of sample. Thank you for listening. I hope you're enjoying Sisterly Love.